20th of April, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Welcome back, Lou.
Thank you. Welcome back, Rabbi. Hey, Phil.
Hi, how you doing?
Okay, so we are we're answering the question over here that the Gemora asked on Kuf Bava Amud Aleph 106a. Umay shno milva. Gemora wants to know.
Kuf Zion. You're on Kuf Zion already. Amud Aleph.
Kuf Zion, yeah. Kuf Zion Amud Aleph. Gemora wants to know my shno milva. Why is milva different? Why is milva different? And right, and then so now the Gemara is answering that question. It's like Rabbah says, and Rabbah is explaining why it is that the Torah is giving seemingly a reasoning why the Torah commands a shvua in a case of moda mixus, when a person is a partial denier and a partial admitter of the claim of the claimant. Okay. And so basically we said that like it says over here, if he he's not so impudent as to make a total denial of any liability to the one that his benefactor that loaned him the money, to say you didn't loan me anything, you didn't do anything for me. He's not going to say that. So why then does he deny in part? He feels he gives an explanation of why it is that he is able to at least deny the goodness of his benefactor in part because of the practicalities. He doesn't have the what to pay up right now, and he wants to stall the matter until he does get the money, and then he will certainly pay. He doesn't mean to avoid the liability. And like that, the Torah says that he should be given a shvua in regard to this claim that he's making. With the intention that he won't make the shvua, he won't make a false shvua. That much he won't do. And like that, the Torah is getting him to admit to the full obligation, and so he'll scramble around and get the money and give the money, the full obligation now, as opposed to later, which is what his obligation was to begin with. Okay. Okay. And we're in the middle now. I don't see we have to understand what the question was that the Gemara was asking when it asked Maishna Milva. Rashi told us Maishna Milva the Akrinin, the Krami Dukte, Umukminin le Allah. Rashi's explaining the Gemara is asking why do you say that Milva should be the case of Moda Mixus that we give a shvua on? That's not where the verse Ki Uzeh appears in the Torah. The verse kiyuzeh appears in the Torah by Pikodon. So what do you see? Why is milva so such a pressing matter that to say that by milva we need this shvua to work over here? It must be that the Torah means that by milva we're going to say this din of kiyuzeh, that he's making a shvua in a case where he's moda mixus. Whereas by Pikodon, says Rashi, in the previous Rashi, then it makes no difference. He's going to swear whether he's a partial denier, whether he's a full denier. He's gonna make a shvua in both cases. Whereas over here, Rashi's understanding the point is that if he does make a full denial, then there's no shvua in such a case. There's only a shvua in a partial denial. A full denial, there will be no shvua. So I think we're still trying to explain the difference over here. So let's go further now. V'gabe milva, hu de ikala meimar hachi. This is towards the end of the lines over here in the Gemora. The second to the last line on the page.
In the art scroll 107a,
Right.
the second paragraph, Rab Chia Bar Yosef concludes.
Right. We read that a couple of times already, I think.
Hmm?
I think we read it a couple of times already.
Okay, so if I don't think we did, but if we did, we're gonna read it again because this time hopefully we're gonna understand what it says.
I don't think we have read it. No.
Okay,
Okay.
Gabi Milva. Roy, you want to read?
Okay. Gave milva hu reako lemimad hachi. Now it is regarding a loan that this reasoning can be said. Aval gaver bekudon maiz umaiz. But in the case of a deposit, the custodian can surely be so brazen. And it's got a whole lot here from the art scroll, as to deny the claim entirely, even if it is true. Since there is no reason for us to rely on a custodian's complete denial, the Torah must have meant to impose an oath on the custodian, even when he denies the claim in its entirety. I therefore say that the verse, "This is it," which qualifies a requirement for an oath as applying only to the case of a partial admission, actually refers to a claim concerning a loan and not a claim concerning a deposit. Thus we see that Rav Chia Bar Yosef disputes Rav Yochanan's assertion that a custodian swears only if he concedes partial liability.
Okay. Gabi Milva hu de ikala meimar hachi. Yeah, see okay. All right, let's take a look at Rashi. Rashi de Ramasel aval b'pikodon.
But with deposit, the aim can't over. There's no benefit to this. There's no advantage. And before he was trying to get out of with the loan, he was just trying to get a delayment of payment. Here, the Picadon, there's no delayment of payment. There's nothing he's gaining from this.
No, the tova here is the there's no tova in the case of Pikadon. Let's first analyze what is the there's a tova by a loan.
Right. There's a tova by a loan because he's delaying the benefit or only paying half. Here, there's no benefit.
No, that's not the tova. The tova is the fact that the person received the loan, right? He
Yeah.
received something from the other person.
Right.
He
Right.
received something good from the other person. Therefore, whereas in the case of pikadon, the person is being asked to do a favor for the person. It's not any tova to the receiver of the pikadon to get the pikadon. He's not getting any tova. He's getting a job. He's getting responsibility. Sometimes he's paid for it, sometimes he's not. But it's not a tova that the giver is giving to the receiver in the case of pikadon. So what's the difference whether there's a tova or not? There's a what's the difference in the case of loan where there is a tova? Why does that make it different in the case of pikadon where there is no tova? That's going to be the next Rashi. Let's take a look at the next Rashi. In other words, he said so far of al gabi pikadon meiz umeiz. Says Rashi.
Maze that it's really repeating it twice, but he can be so brazen about it, so impudent about it. Afilu kafar bakule, even if he denies all of it, Ramya on it, Rahmana shvua aleha, the pasuk make a shvua on it.
Right. So this is talking about the case of pikadon. In the case of pikadon, says Rashi, where there was no tova that was given to the receiver of the deposited item. So in that case, we say there is no chazaka that he would not lie and deny having received the pikadon from the mafkid, from the depositor. There's no chazaka, no legal presumption whatsoever that he would not deny it. So in that case, we are concerned that is exactly what he's doing when he's saying, "Oh, you never gave anything over to me to deposit, or I gave it back to you, or whatever it is that he does to deny deny the liability for the responsibility of having been given the pikadon in the first place. Meiz umeiz. He will certainly, yes, be impudent, and we certainly entertain the possibility that he would be that impudent, that he would do. And therefore Rashi says hilkach afilu kafar bekule. Therefore, even if he denies the whole thing, he says, no, you didn't. Not only one basketball did you not give me to watch, but you didn't give me the two that you claimed that you gave me. You didn't give me anything. No basketballs did you give me to watch. I'm total denial of everything that you claim that you gave to me. We say that he would be impudent enough to make such a claim. So therefore what says Rashi? Ramya Rachmana Shvu Alei, and therefore. In other words, therefore, we don't believe that if he said such a thing, it must be saying the truth, because we wouldn't think that he's so impudent as to make a total denial of the claim. So therefore, we say that we want him to back up his words that he claims over here that he didn't get anything from the depositor, and so therefore we put a shvua on him in the case of pikadon. Whereas in the case of the milva is different. That's what we explained before. The case of milva is different. What's the difference? Such a case where the receiver was given such a tova, he gave him a $5,000 loan, and that's a great tova that he gave him. So in such a situation like that, there's a presumption that he's not going to lie and say, oh, you didn't give me even 1 red cent to look him in the face and say, you didn't even give me 1 rent cent. That we don't, we assume that he's not impudent enough to say such a thing. And so therefore, if he did say such a thing, what does the Beis Din do? We don't give that person a shvuah. We don't give that person a shvuah. Why? Because we don't believe that he's lying. We believe that he's telling the truth. Okay. So that's okay. So that'll explain now why it is that the parsha of Moda Mixis should be by milva and not by pikadon, according to this Manda Omar, this second Manda Omar over here of Rav Chiya Bar Yosef. Because see, the implication is that if you're going to say the shvuah applies in the case of Moda Mixis, the implication is that the shvuah will not apply. There will be no shvuah in a case where he's a kofar b'kol, if he's a total denier. That's what's coming out from this parsha of Kihu Zeh that tells me that there's a shvuah in the event that he's a Moda Mixis. It means to say there's only going to be a shvuah on him in where he's Moda Mixis. But if he's a total denier, there will not be a shvuah on him. So we're trying to figure out which parsha would that apply to. So according to Rabbi Chiya Bar Yosef, he says that parsha would apply in the case of milva, but not in the case of pikadon. In the case of pikadon, we put a shvuah on him in both cases. Okay. Very good. And now we can go weiter. Hooray! Okay. Anybody want to do this Tosfos over here? Don't all speak up at once. No, okay. All right.
That's a long Tosfos.
That's the I think that's the longest Tosfos in Shas. No, actually it's not. No, there's a Tosfos that there's only 1 line of Gemora on. Where is that one? Oh, that's in Meruba. Yeah, we had that page in Meruba. I think Ayin Zion, something like that. There was only 1 line of Gemora, and the rest of the page was Tosfos, other than a few words of Rashi, I believe. I think that, so that would be even a larger Tosfos than this one. Okay. We didn't do that one either. Okay. Okay, Tani Rabbi Bar Chama. And we go to Alan to continue the reading.
Okay, now which page we back on now?
It's the 107A,
Right.
bottom of the right-hand column.
The Gemara cites another rule which concurs with the view of Rabbi Yochanan. Tane Rami Bar Chama, Rami Bar Chama taught a brisa, Abba or Shomarine, the 4 custodians. Surubim, Kafirua, Makatsor, Baho Door, Miksor, require partial denial and partial admission in order to become liable to the custodian's oath prescribed by the Torah. Lo Hain, and these are the 4 custodians: Shomer, Chinom, Bahashuel, Nosei, Sochor, Bahasochor, and the unpaid custodian, the borrower, the paid custodian, and the renter.
Okay, let's
4 custodians.
Arba Shomrim. Right. Okay, so there's four Shomrim, and they srichin kafira b'mixis v'hodah b'mixis. They need to have a taina of kafira b'mixis and hodah b'mixis. A partial denial and a partial admission. Okay. Let's hopefully there's going to be a Rashi that's going to explain what that means. Doesn't seem to be understandable at the first glance. What does it mean that they need that? We got a Rashi over here. Tzrikin kafir b'mixis, hodah b'mixis. Lou, we'd like you to read a Rashi for us.
You there, Lou?
On the top of Kuf Zayin Ahmed base. Oh, we neglected something very important. Yes, we have to acknowledge the great Tova that
Hooray!
Hashem has done. He's helped us to finish Kuf Vav Ahmed base. I mean, Kuf Zayin Ahmed Aleph, rather. Sorry. 107A. Hooray!
So it's the
Hashem.
first one, first Rashi.
First Rashi. Tzrichin kafir b'mixis, hodah b'mixis.
Tzricha kafira b'miktsas, hoda b'miktsas. What's kafira?
Kafir is
Denial.
denial.
I'm sorry, what?
Denial.
Denial. Okay, so he needs to deny partially and to admit partially. Kodem she dis chayvu she boa ve'im nish bo below kefira v'hoda ein shebeo so shall. I don't know the abbreviation.
I think that's a shomachinam.
Shomer Chinam, guarded guards for free. Klum, Velo, Mach, Eve, To, Kofur,
Mechayev,
Kaful,
kefil.
Vidarme, Bar Kama, Halig, Adraba, Chiyuv, Bar Yosef. So we have a before that he is obligated to swear, or I guess initially he's obligated to swear, and if he swore without denying,
13.
and he admitted.
Yeah, that's he swore without denying and admitting. So it has to be both.
What do you mean? It has to be both.
He has to swear without. If he swore without admitting and denying, that it's a double thing. Because he has to do for both.
In other words, like this, unless and until his claim, his counterclaim to the claimant is, I admit in part and I deny in part, unless he makes such a counterclaim to the claim of the claimant, of the depositor that deposited the item to him, he will not be obligated to make a shvuah. That's what Rashi meant when he said Kodem in the first three words. Kodem sheis chaybu shavua. It's a run on Rashi. Tzrichin kafira b'mixes v'hoda b'mixes. Kodem sheis chaybu shavua. He needs to have a claim of which involves a partial kfira and a partial admission before he can be obligated to make a shvua.
I see. Okay. Ve'im nishba'o below kafira v'hoda, and if he swore without denying and admitting, ein shavua so shall shomerchino. It's not the oath of a guard who guards for free. Klum at all. Velo mechayvaso kefil, and he's not obligated to give kefil. Vidarme, what's vidarme?
Udarami barchama, polig.
Oh, Rami Barchama, and it's like, it's an argument with Rami Barchama.
Right.
Adarabe.
Udarami barchama.
Adarami Barchama Chayev Bar Yosef.
Polig adar Rav Chia bar Yosef.
Rami Barchama argues with Rabbi Chia bar Yosef.
Right. Yeah. Right. I don't know why Rashi says Udarami Barchama. He should have just says the Rami Barchama Polig Adar Rav Chia bar Yosef. You see from this statement over here, which was attributed to Rami Barchama, he's saying over this brisa. Tani Rami Barchama means Rami Barchama is saying over this brisa, and this brisa says this brisa. We see from this brisa, says Rashi, that Rami Barchama is differing with the view of Reb Chia bar Yosef, right? Because we just got through saying Reb Chia bar Yosef said that the case of Moda Mixes, where he's obligated to make a shvua, is only in the case of a borrower that received a tova from the lender, and like that, only when he's moda mixus will he be forced to swear, because if he denies it completely, we accept it. We accept his claim that he says that. We don't force him to make a shvua in such case. But a recipient of a pikadon, the shomer pikadon, he will have to make a shvua, even if he's a denier in full, and not simply a partial denier. And so over here we see that Rami Barchama is quoting a brisa that says that no, the shomer, the one who gets a pikadon, the ones that gets a pikadon, Rashi mentions the shomer chinam. He's the recipient. He's the receiver of pikadon, deposited item to watch. He says that he's only obligated to swear if he's a moda mixus. But if he would be a kofar kol, he would not be forced to swear. That's not like what Rav Chia bar Yosef said. Chia bar Yosef said he would be forced to swear. in both cases. Okay, so that's the machloikis over here. And now we're going to go further with the Rashis. We're going to go to Phil to continue with the reading of the Rashis.
Was that part of this Parshat Rishona?
We have a Rashi over here. Oh yeah, what's the Parsha Rishona? Parsha Rishona. Yeah.
It's not, so I don't know, is that part of it?
Yeah, it's not, it's a bit unclear, yeah.
It says the first Parsha is said B'Shomachinam, with the Shomachinam, and the Shnia, and the second one is B'Shoma Sacha, has to deal with Shoma Sacha, which is not the same now. The paid custodian, we're doing it for pay, as opposed to the one who's doing it, gratuitously.
Oh, so this Rabbi Bar Chama, right? So he's saying that in other words, if we would look back in the parsha where it says Kihu Zeh, if we would look back in that parsha, those are the words that are the source for this din that only when he swears only where he claims moda mixus is he going to swear. So we look back in that parsha where it says that Rashi says that the first parsha over there is speaking about a shomer chinam, and the second one is speaking about a shomer sachar. So in both of those cases, he's going to have this din of a moda mixus, that he will only be obligated to swear in the event that he makes a counterclaim of moda mixus. And yeah. Okay, so now we enumerated in the Brisa that there's four shomrim that this din is going to apply to. Of only moda mixus is going to be machayev them in a shvua. And so we said shomer chinam, we said an unpaid custodian, shoel, a borrower, nosei sachar. Now it's interesting, a shoel, he's a borrower. That would seem to include a case of a milva, case of a loan. The borrower is a borrower. He's the shoel. So it seems like according to this, he's admitting that in the case of the shoel also has a din of moda mixus, that he's going to only swear if he's a moda mixus. But he says that also the shomer chinam also has that din. Both of them have the din, not just one of them. They both have the din. And the third case is nosei sachar, which is a way of saying he's a shomer sachar. He's a paid custodian. And then we have a socher. A socher is a renter. So all these individuals, they have a din of a shomer. They're a shomer on the item that was given to them. Either it was loaned to them, it was deposited by them, it was rented to them. But in all the cases, you got four different people that have been given an item that is not theirs, and in some cases they have the right to use it. Some cases they don't have the right to use it. But in all of these cases, they have a din of a shomer. they have to exercise caution and care with the item that they have been given, and to answer for its whereabouts. And we're saying, according to Rav Chia Bar Yosef, here, that's the one. No, made a mistake. Rami Bar Chama. According to Rami Bar Chama, he says that all four of these individuals, they will not be obligated to make a shvuah to answer for the whereabouts of the item unless and until their claim is a claim of moda mixus. In other words, if they're a kofar akol, they're not obligated to make a shvuah. If they make a total denial of having been given over the item, they don't make a shvuah. They cannot be forced to make a shvuah. And Rashi says that in that case, if they would make a shvuah in such a circumstance that they were not obligated to make, there won't be any din kefil if in the event that they had been proven false on the shvuah. Because only the din of kefil applies if the defendant was obligated to make the shvuah to begin with. Okay. And without further ado, we go to Phil for the next Rashi. Socher.
A socher. The socher is the one who's a does it for pay there, a renter. Flukta, that's a disagreement. The Rebbe Meir and Rebbe Yehuda above.
Yeah. Right. Okay, so Rashi's pointing out that the obligations of this guy to make a shvuah is a machlokes Rebbe Meir and Rebbe Yehuda. Okay. We got 1 minute. All right. So I guess we'll should we wrap it up over here? We're right at the we got up to Amarava.
Right. It's gonna be another section. Okay.
So that'll
Shabbat
be
shalom.
for Yom Rishon, Be'ezus Hashem. Okay, everybody, have a great day. Phil, have a good Shabbos.
But a Chodesh Tov coming up here too. Starts
And a
tomorrow.
Chodesh Tov, a Mavorach, all the brachos.
Everyone, stop everybody. And
Be'ez
Shabbat
Hashem.
shalom.
The
See you
Suras Toivos,
tomorrow.
Yeshuos, V'nachamois.
Amen. Okay. Thank you.
Take care.
All the best. Bye, Alan.
Bye. Have a good day.
Have a good day. Chodesh Tov. Bye, Lou.